What's going on, y'all? My name is Omari the Rebel.
And I am the Big Pink Pegasus.
Yes. And this is Tribe Chat, the long-form podcast about alternative sexuality of Nzuri Kabbalah, or NK Swingers. For a black perspective, we make you think.
We make you laugh.
And we make you come. Recording in What the Fuck Media Studios in Soho, New York City.
New York.
Yes. Now, I wanted to jump into our guest, but first, I want to give a shout out to the DJ Proof for joining us, bro. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, man. And also, I wanted to give you a special shout out. Shout out to DJ Proof. Congratulations on your engagement. Yo, can we drop a bomb for his engagement, Proof?
I did it for you. You know, that one was just for you. He got his own shit.
All right. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to get into introducing our guests. So first we have Max Styles. Okay, so Master in Homeland Security, but specializing in writing in the LS community, focused on building network based in education with his group Beyond the Lifestyles. Author of Sex and Chicken. Let me see.
Sex, Chicken, and Cocoa Butter.
Sex, Chicken, and Cocoa Butter.
Small plug.
Can I see that?
Yeah, that's all good, man.
Yeah, can we?
Sex, Chicken,
we're going to be, where my
Cocoa
shit at?
Butter.
Yes.
That makes for...
And it says there's a series coming soon. It's a toy maker and promoter of lifestyle events. He has embedded himself amongst the lifestyle community as a respected professional, lifestyle for over 10 years, and has traveled the world and now resides in New Jersey. So you want to get
all right? Yep. So we're also today premiering Rouge Noir. Ace, aka Rouge Noir, identifies as as a queer, top-heavy switch, and is a founding member of the House of Sins. Ace is passionate about mental health and destigmatizing mental illness within the kink and larger community.
Being transparent about her own journey with mental illness.
I'm having a high moment,
has been a cornerstone of her activism on the subject. On top of volunteering as a speaker at NAMI, which is the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and Our Minds Voices program, Ace has recently started teaching mental health one-on-one classes within the kink community. I want to talk to you about that. And speaking openly and candidly about her own struggles and triumphs, she hopes to inspire others to seek treatment, encourage those who don't have mental health challenges to be better, to support systems to those in their lives that do, and reduce the stigma. My fault. And reduce the stigma that holds us back from being our best selves. I want to welcome you both and thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, and I got a heavy subject matter I wanted to jump into, and I have a specific reason why I asked you guys to join us both. But first, let me start off with our news segment. All right. Habari Gani. Now, Nzuri Kabbalah is the literal Swahili translation for the term beautiful tribe,
y'all.
Keeping with the cultural continuity of our brand, we begin with the Swahili term for what's the news, Habari Gani. All right, so Biphoria makes the first anniversary with by invitation only orgy. According to XBiz. So in Los Angeles, Biphoria.com is making its 1-year anniversary with the release of By Invitation Only, a 12-person all-sex orgy. Biphoria launched as a membership site in May 2020 with a catalog of over 20 videos and now offers over 70 exclusive videos with weekly updates, noted a representative. I'm thrilled by our growth over the past year. We're catering to an extremely unserved niche that is gaining in popularity, Director Jim Powers said. I see the bi market as the next frontier of the adult industry.
So you answered my fucking question. I was just wondering, was this a play on words for bisexuality?
Of course. Millennials are more open to exploring different aspects of their sexuality, and Biphoria is reflective of this. This orgy is not only a celebration of the anniversary of Biphoria, it is also a celebration of sexual inclusiveness, acceptance, continued Powers. I think the energy really comes through in the performance of actors. You want to take this next news bulletin, or you want me to continue?
Go ahead, continue, baby.
All right.
I told you I'm having a high day today, so I'm just here to look pretty.
All right, so according to Gossip and Gasms, a friend of mine, Ashley Cobb, writer for Madame Noir, reports that siblings on TLC show Extreme Sisters share a boyfriend. All right, so Australian identical twins and YouTube influencers Anna and Lucy de Clinique, I think that it is, 35, do everything together. They dress alike, accompany each other to the bathroom, and even measure out their food to make sure they consume exactly the same amount, therefore have identical figures.
I just never wanted to identify with another human being that much. I don't even give a fuck if our first apartment was mother's womb. Like, I don't care.
Oh, and they have the same boyfriend, 37-year-old electrician Ben. The twins who refer...
Exactly.
The twins who refer to each other as soulmates have been dating Ben for 10 years. They would marry him if they could, they said, but it's against the law.
In some states, probably.
The trio met virtually on Facebook through a mutual friend. The first night we met him, we both kissed him, said Anna. It was great from the start. We just hit it off straight away. It was so much easier for us to share a boyfriend. I don't mind that he comes over to kiss Lucy because then he's going to kiss me. He treats us equally. He knows that whatever he does to one twin, he does to the other twin. Yo, that's what I call putting family first.
I'm not mad at that.
You know what? I that shit is crazy.
Nah, it gets crazier. Lucia said the twins have tried dating different people in the past, but it didn't work because they wanted to separate us.
You know what's so fucking crazy about this? I don't even think this should be against the law, seeing as how there's so much gender fluidity and so many other things. They could be fucking cousins or a master and pet for all of them.
Since we're on the subject of family, I wanted to keep going. Now, mother and daughter make $100,000 on OnlyFans. So, a Wisconsin woman says that she had made over $100,000 in 6 months from her OnlyFans by posting content with her mother. Riley Daniels, she's 27. She says she made a killing from OnlyFans after she offered to rate her male followers' genitalia for a price. That's called dick rating. I know y'all heard of that.
Of course.
All right. After discovering a lucrative market, she asked her mother, Teresa, 48, to make money with her. The men send us a few photos or even a video if they're feeling spicy, and we make a few minutes long audio or video detailing exactly what we think of their appendages. We also say what could be done to make it more appealing and give it an overall score out of 10. She told the Daily Star. Now the mother and daughter duo says that they've been making a lot of money from their content and their fans love their videos. Teresa added that she does love working with her daughter as she has a side gig and it comes home from work. I love working with Riley and getting to work from home with my daughter all day. I have learned many new skills in regards to social media. It's very exciting to see my own daughter own a business and thrive in such a competitive market, especially in such a volatile time in our economy. Teresa also works as her daughter's personal assistant and helps answering the DMs and filming, plus editing.
Yeah.
Yo, it's a big fetish, and in my group alone, when you ask, what's your favorite porn category or whatever, those topics they're in there. People like to see them. So I see.
It you know what? It goes to a lot of things, like how fugazi we really are. So many of these things that are rampant secretly, we shun or we don't even bother to discuss or just examine.
So,
Agreed.
Moving forward, I want to get to know you guys a little bit more. So, Ace or Rouge Noir, which do you prefer?
Ace, but it is pronounced Rouge Noir.
Rouge
so
Noir.
it is the French word.
Rouge Noir.
Rouge.
Yes.
All right, so why did you
roll
choose
your
Rouge
tongue?
Noir?
So my signature colors are red and black.
Rouge.
So Rouge Noir. And it also can be translated by some into femme fatale.
Oh, okay. So, Mac, tell us a little bit about your book and how you got started in
So my book, it happened because I went through so much in my beginning stages of the lifestyle. I knew that I always wanted to do it before I got married.
The book or lifestyle?
The lifestyle.
Ah.
Before I even got married, I told my wife, who was to be at the time, that I wanted to do it before I even knew what lifestyle was. And she agreed, but we didn't actually go through. We were kids. We got married at 18, 19 years old. We were married for 15 years, and the drama that we went through trying to enter it.
15 years?
Yeah.
Drop a bomb on their marriage, DJ Proof.
But
Proof.
he sleep. He sleep.
Yeah. He just dropped that shit.
Dropped the ball. But it was worthy. I was going through so much, and I was just writing it all down. And by the end of it, it turned into a great story. And a lot of people feel it. They understand what I went through. I'm definitely not the good guy in the book because I lacked education. I lacked the knowing where to go. I mean, you could say Google and it's all on the internet, of course, but if you don't have somebody that you can talk to or even ask the question, you don't know what questions to ask. Right. So I turned into the person after gaining all the experience to be like, hey, I don't want anybody else to go through that. So let me share my experience and put this out there. So this was actually done in my 20s, but I just published it almost a year and a half ago.
How old are you now?
37.
Hey.
I see.
Yeah. So it was time for me. Enough time had passed to where I could say I'm not this person anymore. I made a lot of mistakes, and this is really a what not to do book.
Shout out for self-reflection
in the lifestyle. So then that was the beginning stages of Beyond Lifestyles.
Yes, I'm in the group.
Yeah, you guys supported, and I appreciate that.
And you're also going to be in Atlanta next month.
So I got a Sex, Chicken, and Cocoa Butter tour.
Oh, Lord.
July 17th. We got a party bus. We doing an after party. We're going to be in Atlanta. We're going to do a big in Atlanta. So it's already
Pegasus and I, we're going to be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be at Mimi G's party, right?
Mimi G going to be at my party. No, No, Mimi G is amazing. I love Mimi G. I respect her so much, and the people in the lifestyle like her that are like ourselves. We've got good jobs. We're not looking for profit, and she's got an amazing job. She's very skilled. She's got all the education in the world, and she still supports the lifestyle just because she enjoys it. She doesn't have to have coming bus. She doesn't have to do all this stuff, but she enjoys it, and that's what I appreciate. Versus the the for-profit parties, or they trying to pay rent and there's just drama surrounding it because of that. And I think she does a good job.
There was a little drama last night when I got there. Like before they started fucking, it just, I haven't had an event where somebody doesn't have to go, hey, chill, just chill. That hasn't. So tell me, all right, let's get right into it.
So before you do that, and that's coming into my third book of the vetting process, right? Because I've learned so much in vetting and how we don't do it enough. And if you're going to the parties that are for profit and just come one, come all, right? You just pay your $30 to get in the door, right? You have to have those securities. Yep. You have to know that you're going to have that drama and you're going to have those situations.
Or at least put fail-safes in place so that you can counteract.
And I'm not saying they don't have their place, because not everybody is the same swinger that they were. I'm not the same swinger I was 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's levels to the shit.
It absolutely is. So my thing was, I don't want to stunt other people's growth. Right. So you have to have those type of meet and greets / parties to introduce them to, but you have to put those mitigations in place in order to make sure you have a safe party.
And say what kind of event it is and for what level of swinger, or what level of participant, because so certainly everybody who comes to an event is not in the lifestyle. Some people are just there because they can't get action anywhere else.
Now, I wanted to get into a specific topic today as far as how I found you guys. I found you from our next guest. Miss Maj.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was listening to your episode when you were on her podcast. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the need for diversity in the lifestyle. I wanted to have a real in-depth conversation about that. There's a few things that I wanted to ask. First of all, Ace, are you partnered?
Yes.
Okay. And if I could ask you, how long you been with your partner?
We are only about 7 months in.
Okay.
But everything's good right now.
Your partner's Black?
Yes.
I just had to ask.
Male or female?
Male.
Okay. You're also married.
Newly married. Wow. Again, when I thought I'd never be married again. But I was in Spain. I met this Brazilian. she didn't speak no English. I either had to learn Spanish or Portuguese or something before.
So he done learned it. Still don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, she speaks 4 languages,
Okay.
except for English.
That is a very athletic tongue.
You telling me, boy? That's the reason why your boy's remarried.
We're about to find out. We'll talk about it. All right,
She'll be down there in June with her party.
All right, I wanted to get you guys to weigh in, and I wanted to have a more robust conversation about what makes the need for this diversity in the lifestyle a necessity, and what are the consequences of not having as much diversity. Now, first thing I wanted to get into is I was actually on Facebook, and I posted something because I was in a MeWe group. Now, a friend of mine, she's a branding consultant. She invited me to a MeWe group. As soon as I got there, it just happened to be the time that I joined. It's like about a couple thousand people. One of the pictures that I see was a woman standing in front of it with a Confederate flag in the background, right? And I seen a few likes. So it made me...
Made your eyebrows raise.
It just made me feel a little bit strange because this is a new environment and I'm trying to get acclimated to. But the first thing I see is, hey, well, look, this right here is what necessitates the need for us to have our own spaces, which is why we don't have these kind of issues. We do have the issues that we do face, but we don't have these kind of issues when we try to create spaces where we can be 100% ourselves. And I wanted to bring up a few things. First of all, what is your experience with as a Black woman in the lifestyle with diversity?
I got lucky entering the community with nothing but Black kinky folks.
Yeah.
So that kind of colored how I saw things. And then as I got on,
because she told me she was smart. She was like, "Oh, it was white people that do this shit." I remember.
I heard her say it too.
Once I expanded and got further out and became pro, I had to deal with more white people, and I was like, "So y'all just gonna be like this wherever you are? Okay, doesn't matter if we're trying to be subversive from popular culture. Y'all are still gonna be white people wherever you go, no matter what it is." Doesn't matter what your role is, sub, dom, whatever. Y'all are still going white. Still be, well, there's I really, really do hate to, although I am part founder of a full color org, I try very hard not to make large generalizations. So I don't think it's just that they're going to be white. You're going to be biased. You know what I mean? And that comes in all colors. They do all sorts of things. They're biased who believe in God. They're biased who beat their kids, and they're biased who, are gender fluid. They come all everywhere.
Because I had a conversation about the need for diversity. And then this is another thing that always pisses me off. I always have the one brother talking about we can't get along and measuring ourselves up to, listen, first of all, I wanted to address that, when I'm having these conversations, a lot of times when we talk about the bias, there's context to it because you're speaking from a position of privilege that's disconnected to other people's reality. The reality is that we don't get seen on the flyers. And then when we get seen on flyers, this is something I wanted to talk about. What do you guys have to say? What is your opinion on the term swirling and swirling parties?
I'm not a fan, but it's not for me to judge. Is something I won't do. I do find it funny that people are okay with the fetishization of their race, and I can't personally understand it. And I kind of feel that there is a disconnect from the reality. And I understand how within kink, BDSM, different lifestyles, part of the goal is to separate yourself from what the reality is, of life
everyday
is.
life, right?
But it's very, very difficult for me to understand how you can fully separate yourself from that reality and the implications of it.
Right.
To be seen not as a person, but as a skin color, as a race, as an ethnicity. How do you know that these people are looking at you as a human being?
Right. So, that is a very, very slippery slope. And I say that because when you dive into fetishes are usually not about the heart. They're about something other than. So who is to say that where's the line? Where
Right.
do I like stinky feet. I like people with hammer toes, or who's to say color shouldn't be one of those things. I'm 100% with
Right.
you, but I also do self-reflection and trying to check
A
myself.
lot of people that say that color shouldn't be one of those things.
I understand as much, but what my question is, how are we so sure that is a line that should, that is a line that should be placed right there?
Hold on. Let me
I'm not
get you
saying that there is a line that should be placed. I'm saying
within yourself, right?
Yeah,
I'm 100% with you.
I'm not saying y'all shouldn't be having these parties.
Right.
Y'all shouldn't do any of this. I will say that I won't interact with people that do
Absolutely,
those things.
I understand.
I won't do them myself, but I can't yuck your yum.
Right. Absolutely, I so understand. Just
That's a good phrase. I like that.
What do you have to
I
say?
can't yuck
So
your
About swirl parties,
my swirl parties, diversity, all of it. I'm 100% for it. I was raised around black folks. I rarely go to white parties, so to speak. But I'm welcome at both. I've never had any problems. I'm a true believer in diversity, and I don't see color when I go into these events myself. But that's just how I was raised.
With that, hold on one second. With that being said, this is why I say what I say. Just like we are Black people have been really, really traumatized by negativities based around our hue. So it seems extra rough and unnecessary when that becomes the fetish, or when it is said it is the fetish. But you can take the really, really fat girl who was picked on as a child, but there's some man who has a fat fetish. Now, should he not be, is there a line that you understand?
I just find it very difficult to wrap my head around race being a fetish, but being divided from racism.
Right. I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
When you think about why people are fetishizing you, and they give these reasons, Black women are, Black men are. It's based around stereotypes, which are based on racist
bias
systems. And I haven't reached that level where that is something that does not.
It's okay with you, but this is what I'm saying. Isn't they all
preference?
Wait,
I would have a preference.
That's what I'm saying. Your tomato.
I want to say something because all right. First of all, I hear the term "I don't see color." I want to address that first. You know what I'm saying? Listen, part of who I am, not all of who I am, is my color, is my blackness and such like this. So I definitely encourage everybody to see my blackness and the rest of me, and not to sidestep this, because that does kind of fall to what people talk about. They hate in the POC, because yes, I am Black, and this is a part of who I am, and it's a part of my experience and how I navigate the world. Now, when it comes to people being viewed as a kink, we talked about this when we had a gentleman on our show named Brian Wayne. He is he produces erotic photography. That's
what he is.
He's an erotic content producer, right? The problem is agency, because he spoke, and what he says is they show us in these images because this is wrong. This is why we're doing it. And like King Noir said, a human being is not a fetish or a kink. You know what I'm saying? So I tell you the truth, I don't have a problem, like he said, with somebody who is not Black being attracted to me. I do have a problem with somebody who is not Black being attracted to me because I am Black. It's like, it makes you feel like, what am I, a dildo? And then terms like BBC, Queen of Spades. Spade historically is a racist term. So part of my experience in the LS community is having to navigate this conundrum of, look, I'm opening and accepting, but then I have to understand that you can call me Spade, but because you don't mean it that way, that it's supposed to be okay. And here's another thing that I wanted to ask. When they use this terminology, there's of Queen of Spades. Why aren't there any Kings of Spades? How come white men don't? Why do you feel like white men don't typically use the same language to describe you as white women do to describe us?
That's a good question. I never heard of that.
Good question. I do think it has to do with how Black men and how Black women are viewed when you're speaking heterosexual terms. So Black men are seen as typically animalistic,
Base
beef,
level.
just
Carnal.
And while that's still an image that is portrayed of Black women, it's more acceptable to view Black men as animals, beastly, unable to be fully human beings. So that's why there's this emphasis on your dick. It's the big black cock. That's it. That's all there is.
And why the fuck y'all? The word cock is a weird ass word anyway, man. Did you say the word
Unisex.
cock?
It was very
I do.
uncomfortable for me to say
I
that
say
word.
cock.
But I don't. You get to use BBC.
And then when you're looking at white men and Black women, there is this. When it comes to the racial aspects, the subversion tends to be a submission to Black women.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're actually submitting or not, there is this idea of submission. So you're not going to see the same terminology being used.
You are in an interracial relationship yourself.
Well, my ex-wife was Black. I've never dated a white woman, but my current wife is Brazilian. So
Yes.
her
So
mom is Black.
let me ask you this. Now, do you guys ever hit any turmoil with cultural space?
No, I don't think so. I haven't had that situation. But I'll go back to real quick because you hit on it. When I don't see color, I mean I don't see color in parties. We were talking about diversity in parties.
Right.
Like I don't go into a party and I'm like, hey, he's Black, he's white, he's whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
I can
not a
respect.
deciding factor.
I can respect exactly. I can respect that you're proud of your Blackness, if I can say
Ethnicity.
Yes.
ethnicity. But when I'm saying I don't see color when I go into the parties. That's what I was trying to say.
So
I'd like to respond to that a little bit.
Mhm.
Just because we're in a party environment doesn't take out that there are biases and stereotypes that people
My
come
Blackness,
in with.
it comes with me everywhere I
When,
go.
Right.
Exactly,
I
because
guess my
I'll
whiteness
be at a
does.
party and it will be it can be a mixed race party, but people will interact with me as a Black dom different than they will with a white dom, or even before they know I am a dom.
Mhm.
They interact with me differently based on these preconceived notions. They may not say it's because you're Black, but it is.
all of it is
We know what
shrouded in that.
Microaggressions and stuff like this. But then it's also a situation with
Microaggressions or micro submissions, because you get sometimes labeled the angry Black. So they, okay, well, let me just, it can go either way. It's so polar.
Yeah, so this is why we have a group in Zuri Kabbalah where we have people who look like us and such, because amongst being able to not have to filter our cultural expression is people who just get stuff. You know what I mean? When
Just
you come
that
from the
one
same
thing you don't
community
have to
and shit,
worry
like,
about.
I mean, it's not a problem that there is a disparity when it comes to culture. It's just that when you don't share the experience, it makes it hard for you to understand certain things. Like when she
Simple
goes
as that.
to a job interview, thinking about how she needs to wear her hair, or like, has any of your wives ever told you how frustrating it is for someone to go, hey, can I touch your hair?
Right.
Like shit like this. Your book is sex, chicken, and cocoa butter. Now that shit actually got to me, because I'm like, yo,
Cocoa
what you know
butter?
about cocoa butter? Do y'all get ashy? White people
chicken?
don't get ashy.
Yeah. So
They do get
I'll tell you the quick story about the name of the book.
Skin dander.
It's a play on words. It absolutely is. What happened was.
What happened was.
Yep, I was married. My wife, I wasn't deployed. I was about 3-4 hours away from my duty station.
I like the shape of your head too.
Thank you, Ma. It's a good. I'm lucky to be bald and have a good shaped head. My old lady told me that she didn't want my girlfriend down there. I had a wife and a girlfriend at the time. And my girlfriend was Black,
That's almost
obviously.
crazy.
All right, so how did that? How would you?
I'm trying to
define
give you the
relationship?
quick
Was
story.
it poly or? was it-
Let her give you
It
the damn
started
story.
off me being completely wrong. I wasn't getting what I wanted at home, and
okay.
then I had a girlfriend. Then I tried to bring them together. It was poly for a little while, but neither here nor there. Quick story about the name of the book. Wife said, "I don't want your girlfriend down there." I said, "All right, bet." Girlfriend found out I did some shady shit with my wife with some other things, and my girlfriend said I told her to come down. And my wife tried to surprise me coming down there. And she said, Mac, the room smells like sex, chicken, and cocoa butter. It's my call sign. She's going to know I was here. I'm trying to clean up. She's like, it don't matter what you do.
Sex, chicken, and cocoa butter.
Yeah, we just finished eating. We just finished getting down. You know, she was lotioning it up, trying to get ready to leave. I'm trying to make sure there's no hairs on the pillows and shit. And she's like, it don't matter what you do, my call sign. Because I was always getting myself into trouble because I was trying to hide something, or I was trying to get to somewhere. I was trying to get to the next, you know, make everybody happy and make everybody come together. But so it's a play on words for me, constantly getting myself into trouble.
So avoiding trouble, cheating, and being moisturized when you're cheating.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And full.
Nah, because for real, like, I can't stand that. On the train way here, I saw a woman, like, her damn feet, the ankles were ashy. It looked like she was up to her ankles in powdered donuts and shit, yo. You ever seen somebody so ashy that you looked at them and you was like, I got cotton mouth.
Make you uncomfortable. You scratch yourself.
Yeah.
Just by looking at them. Yeah.
It's like you walk and make sounds.
All right, so tell us, what do you guys think? You know, what do you think, if it's not just a end-all solution to how we can end racism in lifestyle, but what do you feel like is a realistic thing, something realistic you feel like we could do to help with diversity? If I could ask each of you.
Me, I love us making our own spaces, but one thing that would make it better if people would be like, stop trying to wiggle their way in with I don't know, like caveats. Well, this is racist. If we had done it, then y'all be calling.
Whataboutism?
Just let us have our space. It takes nothing from you.
And why do you feel so fucking entitled to be in everything? Like, you never heard no before?
Yes.
Right. So that's one of the big things. Stop complaining when people who are of marginalized groups make spaces that are safe for them
to explore a new something.
And that just reminds me how the Negro League, they are going, all right, the MLB is actually going to take some of the records from the Negro League and they're going to add them into Major League Baseball. Now, the only thing about that is that, you know, the distinct reason to why it exists would get lost and such. You know what I'm saying? It's like I say, we're like the HBCU of swingers. What do you think as far as what we can do?
So I've seen this on both sides. Overseas, this isn't a problem. Overseas, everybody comes together. They all have fun. I wasn't looked at as the American. I was brought in. I was kind of like the hot topic because I'm like the only American over there. But
America is very prudish about sex.
Very. How to make it better? I think we're kind of on the right track. I've seen like the party I went to last night. It was every race, every nationality, everybody was there. And
everybody was fucking each other, right?
No, this was just a kink event. So the fetish ball was just kink, but everybody came together. Everybody was having a good time. My events, because my wife is Brazilian and most people are Latina, but well, you know, we're bringing in more people, and I've only been here a few months, so it's getting bigger. I don't distinguish anything like that in my group, and I would encourage others to do the same.
Yeah,
I want to just say that I don't think that there is anything you can. Racism isn't just in LS, in lifestyle. Exactly. It's going to be absolutely everywhere all the time. Life has an ebb and a flow. And absolutely everything needs to be present in life at some point in time. So racism isn't going to go anywhere. You need to have those lessons to have people overcome, or to find out where you really want to be, what side of the shit you stand on. So it needs to be there.
And there's going to be racism to other things besides race. It'll be something else.
Something else, some kind of bias. That's why I said bias.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I was talking. You guys should see the Mother's Day episode when I talked about my mom, because she's black and a woman and a lesbian. So imagine the people who occupy both of those spaces. That's why we talk about intersectionality. When I talk about what we should do, what I hope that what we do to try to move progressively towards countering this issue of lack of diversity is, if you guys want to put us in flyers for swirling, if you want to put me in the middle of your BBC cuckold fantasy, look, that's maybe a good start for you if you think that that's diversity, okay? If you guys want real diversity, don't just put me in the middle of your BBC cuckold fantasies. Put us in the boardrooms. Put us in the positions so that we can be the people that are making the flyers. We can be the people that are owning the clubs.
How
if you
about
guys want to
this?
be,
Not even
hold on,
put us in
I'm not finished.
position.
If you
Let
guys
us
want to,
get
hold
there.
on.
Yeah.
If you guys want to be more inclusive, what you need to do is give us a seat at the table so that we can effectively influence change. Don't just tell us that you're happy to lust after us, and let us know that you actually have a genuine understanding about something. What do you know about Black people besides BBC? Know what I mean?
Like, that's been a discussion within the leather community for a while, and one of their biggest
community. It's always so amazing when I hear some wild shit and then community after it.
So one of their big things, the leather community has competitions yearly for Mr. and Miss Mix leather for different regions, different clubs. And their thing is, if you want diversity, you have to remove these obstacles. And one of these obstacles and these barriers to title holders being people of color is the cost. Because as a title holder, you travel frequently and you have to cover those costs yourself. So to be able to do that, you need to be of a privileged position. So instead of having the title holders be the sole people responsible for funding their travel, their competition, their leather, their uniforms, make that a community effort.
Right.
Put money in a pot, and whoever wins, that will be where their money comes from for traveling, for housing, for eating while they're on the road, because they're doing a service for the community.
Right.
Leather is very, very service oriented for the community. This isn't just pageantry for pageantry's sake.
Okay. All right. So we also, before everybody goes, we actually have a little bit of a tradition here. I need everybody's intellectual brain and political brain active right now, because I have something a little bit more serious that I need to ask each of you. Okay. All right. Starting with you. Ace, do you eat ass?
Yes.
Do you eat ass?
Very select few. I'm gonna say yes, but I'm a nasty motherfucker. But a very select few. It's not everybody.
Yes, everybody's pro eating the ass.
Yeah.
We're all pro eating ass
Right.
on Tribe Chat. So, could you guys let us know about what you guys have coming up and where we could find you? Starting with you, Ace.
You can find me on FetLife at Rouge_Noir or Twitter at Rouge90Noir. Upcoming. We don't have the official date yet, but worship will be coming back in June. It is a femdom-oriented party. You can either be a seasoned dom or being a femme-presenting person who's looking to explore your dominant side. I do a lot of teaching. I will play with some folks, but I'm mostly education oriented in that space.
Not to throw things off, but yo, for real, you all right? Fang play. So
Yes, I
yeah.
do.
you like biting people?
Yes, I brought my fangs today.
And you have beautiful fucking teeth, my God.
Yes, I'm a biter.
You as well.
Can we see the fangs?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sure. I gotta go get up and get him.
Yeah, go get up. I'm not having a problem.
That's
with
gonna
that.
leave me out of the teeth conversation.
Mac, so
You
tell us about, all right, where can we find you? And I know I'm in it.
Beyond Lifestyles got so much going on. We are group / Beyond Lifestyles. You can check out all our events. We've got stuff going on in Atlanta. We've got stuff going on in Florida. Obviously, I'm here in New York and New Jersey, so we've got stuff going on here. The Potty Bus in July is kind of my big thing because I'm going to be releasing my second book.
You're on OnlyFans too, right?
Yeah, I got OnlyFans. My wifey is I kind of manage her wifey fans with her too. So
Goodness gracious.
I'm everywhere, man.
How long is your dick?
I'm a solid 7 3/4. Yeah.
We got a theory about how many inches that we
Not
add.
3/4.
Can we get a shot up on the beautiful
Oh
teeth
my
of Ace?
goodness.
So hold on, before we go, so like you like drawing blood.
Yes.
How do you safely do that when you're in your fetish?
Don't hit an artery.
Well, key. So if I'm drawing blood with anybody, I'm going to be fluid bonded with them. So before that happens, there is blood test goes on. There is cleansing of the skin pretty thoroughly, and using Listerine for myself, and then going in with the biting, making sure you're not hitting any arteries, any really susceptible places for veins and whatnot.
You do like drawing blood because you said that you hurt somebody when. Tell them, do you know what sounding is, Pegasus?
Do I know no? What is sounding?
Tell her what sounding is.
So sounding is technically a medical procedure, but I will insert steel rods into the urethra.
It's
like a sounding rod. Like a sounding rod, yeah.
Some people like the pain, some find it pleasurable.
Okay. Steel rods in the urethra. Now, how wide are these things round? Like
they vary in diameter. Some are very, very small. Some get to the size of, I would say the largest looks like kind of a magic marker.
Lord have mercy. Now, what would the person who has the magic marker in their urethra, what would they piss like? Like, what would they just come out?
She was talking like a nigga was pissing blood and shit.
Well, that happens. Sometimes, like, some people's capillaries are a little bit weaker than others, so they bleed a little bit easier. And I had a bleeder at one point.
But okay, so what is the derivative of the fetish for you? Is it the actual act? Is it the taste of the blood or the aroma? Like what goes on? Is it the ripping?
It is the biting is the primalness of it.
Right.
And then the energy exchange, and then blood. I love the visual of it. I like the feel of it. And I like that somebody is vulnerable enough with me to allow that.
You know what? And I dig that shit right there.
So
before the last one.
Max, so all right,
like needles.
Before we go, so you are performing on your OnlyFans, or is it just your wife?
So my OnlyFans is obviously is free. It's more of an education. I don't post a lot of nude. It's more tantra and stuff that I've learned, like cum control and all that good stuff. So,
Tantra.
How do you hold your nut?
Tantra. It's a whole study, baby.
So that was my first podcast on that because I'm
You have a
good
podcast about how to hold your
That
nut?
was my first one.
Oh, I got to listen to that shit.
There was one of two, and like I told you before, it was too much editing. I was like, nah, I can't do this. But it is a lot of meditation. It's centering. You build a lot of energy in your pelvic area before you nut. And if you can disperse that energy, you can basically bring it back when you want to.
Right.
So I don't even come until my wife asks for it or begs for it, whatever kind of scene we're in. So, but I can hold it for hours until I'm ready to go.
I was looking for someone to actually practice the towel with, and no one wanted to exhibit that kind of control. Everybody wanted that. Trying to make them believe that there is something else much more pleasurable, much more fulfilling, to do with that seminal retention. Like, it's just like, get the fuck out of here.
And listen, I'm no homo, but it is hard to find. Me and my old lady, we do MFM.
It's cool if you are gay though.
And absolutely. But it's hard to find good dick. Like when I invite somebody over, they usually end up either coming too quick or they can't get up and they just end up sitting on the couch watching us while me and my lady get in.
My wife complains about that shit too when you're not ready. Sitting there doing like this.
She almost wants to give up on this whole thing just because it's frustrating. She's like, you get to have all the fun and I'm sitting there,
guys,
sucking on soft dick. Like,
I want to thank you guys for joining us.
We closing it right there. That's a good, okay, yeah.
Nah, listen.
I appreciate it.
Nah, listen, I know you guys came a long way. I'm going to definitely check out your book. You guys make sure that you listen to the name of your podcast is
Black Girl Missing podcast.
Yes, and you got Feminista Jones on that show?
Yes, she's one of my best friends.
She is one of, she changed me so much. Like, she's a big inspiration. I was trying to get on the show. And make sure that you guys are checking out Beyond the Lifestyles on Facebook. Join this group. And Sex, Chicken, and Cocoa Butter. Give that a read.
I just want to pinch your nipples for some reason or other. I'm not going to. I just...
All right, y'all. Who we talking about? Either or, it don't matter.
Wow. I love these boots. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. My name is Omari the Rebel.
And I am the big motherfucking pink Pegasus.
And this is Tribe Chat, man. Thank y'all for joining us.
Peace.